to my Ascendant series. So let's just jump right in. What is the Ascendant? The Ascendant is the physical body, your personality. It represents your upbringing, early upbringing, as well as just how you handle and deal in different areas of your life. So let's start with Virgo's physical appearance. Virgos tend to have neat appearances, like put together. Usually they're not the most casual. They're always formal. Even if they have, no matter what type of style of dress, they're not nerds necessarily. Even though they could dress like that too, but they do kind of give me like, what's her name, Velma from Scooby-Doo vibes, like that, or just really neat and put together clothing, like simple, aesthetic, and they don't do sloppy clothes hanging off, things too short, too hot. They like comfort, but in a way that's presentable and professional, I'd say, but not like in a Capricorn way. Yeah, they don't necessarily tend to stand out as far as like their fashion goes, and they could also just be kind of really in shape. They're really into their fitness, really into working out consistently, and just also just their well-being, their overall health. They're really into like what they put in their bodies, and just they could really be kind of meticulous about how they look, and just kind of picky about their appearance and their weight. They could tend to be in really good shape usually, but they might think that they could do better. When it comes to their resources, they tend to usually be pretty creative and more laid back. I'd say they usually like balance, or a relationship where things are kind of like the give and take is kind of fair. Like one person isn't really providing more than the other person is. I'd say that's more of like a Virgo thing. Also, they have a tendency to really just fuck off and drink and overdo it and overindulge in alcohol and weed, but they may not notice this. They could really feel like they have it together, and like they're the ones that's necessary to kind of push others to kind of keep on their daily routine. But in reality, they could have points where they kind of just want to like slip and overindulge and just not really be bothered with time or the concept of time, and getting a regular routine could just kind of bore them sometimes. They could have that side where they just kind of just want to throw caution to the wind and just drink, or just binge, or just hang out and just be. They could also have a real pushover side. They could just have a tendency to let people run them over, because we talking about Pisces in the 7th house, so they might really not notice how much they could really get taken advantage of, because the 7th house is the shadow side, right? It's the side of ourselves that we don't see. Pisces energy is subconscious energy. So you see where I'm going here with this placement. They really can be taken advantage of by other people and be none the wiser, and just really be doing it out of the kindness of their heart. These people can really keep things to themselves. They'll really could be secretive, or just keep their dark thoughts to themselves, or express things negatively at inappropriate times. I won't say at inappropriate times, but they could have a tendency to like say some mean or hurtful things. Not all. I'm not saying they're mean people, but I'm just saying how they could have a tendency to express themselves sometimes, or they could just shut down when they feel like that and just not want to disclose anything. They could be really tight-lipped in terms of their deepest, darkest feelings, and these people could really keep a secret. The mother could have just been not reliable, or flighty, or in and out. The home life could have been like that too, a lot of moving around, or a lot of even like staying with different relatives. Or sometimes when I see Sagittarius energy, when it comes to mothers, they don't like they don't like to be tied down, because Sag is a freedom loving sign. So with Cancer being such stable energy, Sagittarius being in their 4th house is just, it almost indicates a mom who wasn't the most responsible and it does make sense because Virgo ascendants are very helpful people. They tend to, really abide by a schedule and a routine. So it's almost like that was enforced or put on them early on to just kind of take on that role. But they themselves could have not really been given the most stability or, proper consistency growing up. But there could also have been like a lot of, like I said, a lot of travel, a lot of long distance travel, a lot of, they could have spent a lot of time developing their own beliefs, but it could have been wrapped around heavily what the mother might have instilled or the maternal figure. For them, fun could be work. Just straight up, plain and simple. Virgos really do like to work. They really do it. This is really true for the Virgo ascendant. Their work is like what they dedicate themselves to, or they really like to master and just take their time and slowly build upon something and master a craft that really gets them going. That's really exciting for them. And also in terms of child rearing or raising children, this Virgos really tend to be dedicated and be the stricter parent, be more the maternal parent, the father figure type parent. The Virgo would more so usually be like the dad in any case, or bad cop, like the one that'll enforce the rules usually. Health could be, it could be, I wouldn't say up and down. It could be really stable, but then unexpectedly it could drastically change. So Virgos, usually they have a tendency to watch their health really meticulously. So I really don't see any unexpected side effects or health issues that usually are governed with Virgo ascendants. They're usually just hypercritical about their health. And what health issues could play out is like eating disorders and just, stuff like that. Just they could just be really trying to micromanage their weight or their look to a fault in some cases. They also usually like a sexual partner that is somewhat athletic or more aggressive than them in bed. Aries in the 8th house, I feel like they really do with a partner they like to get out their physical expression, because again, Virgo ascendants, they're really about their physical body and their health. And I really see similarities in Aries and Virgo in terms of their interest in like physical fitness. So I really just see them really wanting to do that even in bed. Like their sexual partner could even be someone who's just physically agile. They could also make a good living being fitness trainers, personal trainers, or just they could really make a good living in being like athletic. Athleticism could really pay off big for them. And they could also go through deep forms of transformation and deep spiritual experiences through their bodies and through their physical their physical appearance and being could just really be, it could be really tied into some, the physical and the spiritual really tie in deep with the Virgo ascendant is what I'm trying to say. What else do I want to say? They have a side of them that they don't really see, and that's the side that can be pretty egotistical and self-centered and focused on being the center of attention. But this might come out when they're drunk or when they're like when they're most comfortable, like when they're around people that really care about them. They could kind of act like an asshole, like, because with Leo in that 12th house, like I said, I really see that as you really your form of self-expression, it kind of gets lost. And when you do find like that time to express yourself is usually you're expressing it over the top, or you're doing it when it's not really appropriate. That's usually how we act out the 12th house energy. So with Leo, like being there, I just really see that as like being egotistical or being self-centered, you know, or being the opposite in times when it's not appropriate. Like, you know, being a pushover, because again, going back to the 7th house being in Pisces, Virgo ascendants have a tendency to be a pushover in inappropriate scenarios and be like egotistical, inappropriate. There's like a need to balance where they exert their force and their ego. You know, they got to watch it for taking out their frustrations on people that care or other people that they feel like are Piscean in nature, or trying to heal them even. Because that could be when they kind of take on that, you know, that egotistical part of themselves, is when they're experiencing healing from another, or when they're just straight up drunk or high, or 12th house. I just always imagine us getting a hold of that energy when we're doing 12th house things. That could be sleeping, that could be, you know, overindulging in drugs. It could be with a soulmate connection, or with a connection where someone lights up that area for you. You'll start to see them play out. Like if a Virgo gets a relationship with, you'll see that play out in different ways, basically. So that's all that I have for Virgo ascendant. Yeah, that's it. Be sure to subscribe if you want more information on astrology. I'll be posting videos regularly, and I'll be continuing this ascendant series, continuing on to next time being Libra, and that should be fun. I love Libras. Until next time.